Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my monthly update to my rolling project pan. So that is a series I do here on my channel where I essentially have a full face of products that I'm trying to finish up to completion. So I will be inserting in some progress photos, showing you my updates, telling you how many times I've used these products. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's just dive into this. All right, so the way that I like to do this project is to go in order of application, not necessarily the order in which they were brought in. It just kind of helps me make sure that I don't forget anything along the way. So there's no time to waste. We're just gonna jump right into this, starting with my primer. I have been using the Elemis Superfood Glow Priming Moisturizer. I rolled this in November of 2024. Used this 12 times this last month for a total of 101 times since rolling it in. I wish I could tell you where I'm at, but even though this packaging's not opaque, it's very difficult to see where I'm at. I'm definitely below this line now. I just didn't feel confident enough to make a new line marking. Maybe I'm around here because right now I'm storing it upside down in order to get product out of this. I am wearing this today. Everything that I'm wearing is listed down in the description box, but you can probably count that it's all of these items I'm about to talk about. So as far as this product goes, it's all right. I don't love a moisturizing primer. I feel like it's just an extra step that I don't need in my routine. So I'm trying to get rid of them, and that's why I've been trying to just one by one knock out these glowy kind of moisturizing primers. So I think this will be done hopefully in the next couple of months here. The next grouping of products I have are all concealers. I have 3 different types of concealer. We're gonna start with my favorite one. It is the Benefit Boiing Brightening Concealer. This is kind of more of a color corrector. I brought this into the project in October of 2023. It's been in the project for quite some time now, but we are slowly but surely getting there. I used this 18 times the past month for a total of 426 times since rolling it into this project. You're seeing the photos pop up as I'm speaking about it, but let me show you what it looks like today. And good progress. You know, this isn't my most exciting update, but there is progress nonetheless, and I'm happy with this. Even though we've cleared out pretty much all the sides, I maybe have like 25% of the side left here. I still think this is going to take me a couple months. 426 uses. I've put in the work on this product. I think I'll get over 500 before this is done. We'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, we're going to find out together. It will be really, really nice to just finally throw this component away. I'm very much looking forward to it. The next concealer I have is my Nars Soft Matte Concealer. Kind of use this as a spot concealer in my routine. I have the shade Light to Vanilla. This is the oldest product in my project pan. I rolled it in September of 2022. It was actually in my introduction video for my project pan. That's how long this has been in the project for. I used this 16 times the last month for a total of 357 uses. Let me show you what it looks like. And then just a caveat to that, we're making good progress, is the first year I did project pan, I was not counting my usage. So 357 is a year of untracked uses on this. It is a very pigmented product. You don't need a lot of it. It is quite light for me. Even in the winter time, it can be a little bit light. So I can't use too much of this product. That's why it's so slow going. But I am seeing progress. I'm happy with the progress. And the photos definitely help. Counting the uses definitely help. I think I would have given up on this concealer a long time ago had I not been tracking it, because it just seems like the concealer that never ends. I mean, this was definitely a product I've gotten my money's worth out of. The third concealer I have, because yes, I have 3 concealers, is my actual concealer that I use under my eyes. It is the RMS Uncover Concealer in the shade 11. Rolled this in July of 2024. Next month will be the 1-year mark of having this in the project. I actually didn't think it was going to last that long in here, but here we are. I used this 8 times this last month for a total of 122 times. Here's what it's looking like. I don't feel like there's that much expansion since my last update, but I have kind of been trying to work my way down on the sides here instead of from the center into the side. So maybe that's why I haven't taken my photos yet or seen them side by side. I think I will see some kind of movement, but it doesn't feel like too much. And unfortunately, I still think I have a couple more months with this, maybe less than I think. I think it'll be done by the end of the year, but I think closer to the end of the year than sooner, huh? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. This is the oldest concealer in my collection. I would really like to get it out and just focus on the next oldest one in my collection because it would be nice to really kind of control my concealer category. We now move on to foundation. The Valentino, Very Valentino Light Lasting Perfecting Foundation. Actually really love this foundation. It's not old in my collection. I just wanted to actually prioritize it before it went off. Love this foundation. Again, wearing it today. It's a nice everyday light medium coverage. It's a little bit more coverage than maybe I would want on the everyday. So I guess it's not an everyday foundation, but every time I wear it, I love how my skin looks. I always feel like I have a good makeup day with this. I have the shade LN4, and here are my progress lines. So this is where I'm at this month. I rolled this in November of 2024. And I used it 8 times this last month for a total of 68 times since rolling it in. So I think I still have probably 50 to 60 more times before this rolls out. Since I'm a little bit past the halfway mark, it does taper in a little bit. So that's why I'm thinking maybe 50 uses. So if I was to use this every day, that's 2 months, but that's unrealistic for me. So definitely at least 3 months, but could even be more like 6 months until this gets rolled out. I'll be happy to finish this. Like I said, I just wanted to get my money's worth out of this foundation because I have so many in my collection that a lot of them that I do love go neglected. I didn't want that to happen to this because it is a really, really nice luxury foundation. Highly recommend it if you're in the market for a higher end price foundation. Now we move on to powder. So this is the Lancome Absolue powder in Ecru Light, 10 grams of product. I really wanted to challenge myself with powder. This has been long discontinued, so it just seemed like the obvious choice for me to focus in on it, get it out of my collection. I rolled this in February 2025, so it hasn't been in the project that long. But I used it 7 times this last month. It was definitely a lower month for me. I think the previous update I had almost 28 uses on it, so I didn't use it that often. And I have a total of 79 uses since rolling it in. Here are my markings. I don't think that the 7 uses gave me enough movement to make a new line marking. This is where I was the previous update, and I just don't think I can make another line or it would just be touching that line, so there is no point. But I am happy with the progress on this. Actually, I'm not a heavy powder user. So for me to be this quickly, since I rolled it in this year, almost halfway through, I'm very happy about that, actually. Fingers crossed I could get this done by the end of the year, but that would be a stretch, I think, for me. I would have to really buckle down and use this a little bit more often if I wanted to do that. I feel like we're breezing right along. We're going to go into my cream cheek products before we go into powder cheek products. So I have my Hourglass Sheer Illume Trio here. This has a bronzer, blush, and a highlight. I rolled this in October of 2023. This is also one of the longer term items that I've had in this project. I used this 8 times this last month for a total of 221 times since rolling it into this project. And let me show you what it looks like. Here is where we're at. Oh, shit. I just dug. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I just dug my nail into this highlight. Okay. So I was very proud of this, but now I just wasted probably like 5 uses on that highlight. The bronzer has been done for a couple months now. I'm just working on the blush and the highlight. And when I say 221 uses, that means that I've used each one individually. Obviously, we've surpassed the bronzer now, but I do use both of them in conjunction when I'm using this product. I don't just use one or the other. It's nice. I've gotten used to it, but at the same time, like, it would just be nice to finally see the end of the tunnel with this. It's making its way though. That definitely helped me out. So it is what it is, but you know, I'm seeing good progress on this. I'm excited to see what my progress photos look like once I take the photo and see what it looks like last month. I think that the blush has kind of expanded a lot more to the side here. So maybe next month I can hit side pan on one of these. That would be really nice, but I just use it naturally, see where we go from there. The powder cheek products are where it starts to get a little bit exciting for me. For powder cheek products, I'm only trying to hit pan in these because it would just take me years and years and years to actually finish one of these up. So we're going to start with the bronzer. This is the Fenty bronzer in Inda Sun. I rolled this in December of 2024, so it's been in the project about 6 months now. I used it 8 times this last month for a total of 72 times since rolling it in, and I hit the pan today. Can you see it right there? I could not believe it. It just happened to be today that I hit the pan, but I think because with these powder products, I'm only trying to hit pan, and once I do hit pan, I don't plan on rolling anything in its place because I am trying to diminish the amount of products that I have in this project because I do think it's a little bit excessive. So my plan was once I hit pan on the bronzer, blush, and highlight, I just wasn't going to roll something in its place. So because of that, and because I hit pan today, I would like to expand it a little bit more. So I'm going to keep this in for 1 more month, but it took me 72 uses to hit pan on this and just see how much more like we can expand this pan and make it a little bit bigger. I feel like it would just be doing a disservice to this bronzer if I didn't give it just a little bit more love. So I would really like to do that. It's a really nice bronzer. I like it a lot. Would I repurchase it? I don't know if I love it that much, but it is really nice. I think it's okay. Moving on to blush, I have my Pat McGrath blush in Nude Venus. So I rolled this in October of 2024, used it 11 times this past month for a total of 99 times. I was just shy of hitting that 100 mark, which is such an achievement, I feel like, for a product. Here's what it's looking like. You're going to see the progress photos, but this is a slow-going blush. It really is. I did not pick the best blush to try and pan. It is going to take me quite some time to hit a pan on this, honestly, because I am going to roll this out once I hit a pan. I might roll it out early. We'll just kind of see how I feel. I would like to really commit and try to hit pan, but it just might take me so long. I don't know if it's worth it. We'll just wait and see, but here's the blush. I'm doing my best on it. I try to use it as much as possible. I'm happy with the 11 uses for the month. My soft goal is usually around 10 per item, so I did surpass that, and we'll just keep chugging along. For the highlight, I have a Dior highlight. This was a limited edition in Holo Pink. This went viral for a long time, and then I never touched it because it seemed like a relic that I had to just hang on to, and I decided it was time to hit pan on it. So I rolled this in February of 2025. It's only been in the project since this year. Used it also 11 times, just like the blush, for a total of 54 times since rolling it in. And here's what we're looking like. You can really start to see that waffle imprint. You've been able to see it for about 2 months now, but I feel like I'm just getting closer and closer to hitting pan. I will definitely, hopefully be hitting pan soon. Hopefully those are kind of contradictory, but I think I'll be hitting pan soon. I just don't know how much longer it's going to take me. Because if you look closely, like the waffle pan, there's still a lot of product where that waffle is. It's just kind of like in those holes that it's sunken down. I don't know what the reason is for that, if it's just a little bit softer pressed, but we're making progress. We'll see where we end at. But once again, like I hit pan on this, I won't be rolling in another powder highlight. I do want to just kind of lower the amount of products in this project because I think I have around 15 or so. And it would be nicer to be close to 10, I think would be a better, more manageable number. After the cheek products, though, is kind of where we get into the miscellaneous. I'm first going to talk about my setting spray. This is the Pixi Vitamin Makeup Mist. I really love this setting spray. It's one of the favorites that I've tried. The only downfall is that it does go quite quickly. So I rolled this in April of 2025, used it 13 times for a total of 35 times since rolling it in. And here's where I'm at. This is actually where I started. It wasn't full when I rolled this in. So from here to here is 35 uses. I just feel like that's not that many for a setting spray. And it might just be the way that the mister is, but I also love the mister. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like it's a little bit, I don't mind going through a product quickly, but obviously that means the price is going to be a little bit more because you're going to have to repurchase it more often. So I just don't know how I feel about it. I'm definitely going to keep the component though and pour in some other setting sprays once I empty this one out, just because I like the mister so much. Eventually I would like to have 2, maybe 3 setting sprays max. It's just not a category I feel like I need to have so many of, and I don't know why I do. Now I have my eyeliner here. This is the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in Mr. Bing. It's just a brown eyeliner. I rolled this in May of 2025 and used it 9 times this past month for a total of 28 uses. Here is what it's looking like. 9 times I don't think is bad. Again, I'm wearing it today, but when I look at my tracker, I wasn't able to make a new line, so that's a little bit disappointing. Here is where I started in April, and then you can kind of see here, you know, I maybe could make a line, but it would just be too close. It's not, oh, no, I could. Okay, I could. Let's make a new line right now. Maybe I just didn't have it at the right spot. Okay, that actually makes me feel a little bit better. So right here is where I'm at now, about the same usage as the previous month. So that checks out. On that trajectory, it would take me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more months to finish this. I would say that's probably about right. So I'm going to keep working on this. It's just one of my oldest eyeliners. I want to try to get all my blacks out, but they don't even make this anymore, Colourpop. So it would be nice to just get this out and be done with it. Have less things just taking up space. Next up is my lip liner. Same kind of thing with this. Would like to just get my lip liner collection down. That's why I'm doing Project Pan, guys. So this is the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in Dolce K. Rolled this in July of 2024. Used it 9 times for a total of 151 times since rolling it in. And this one I feel pretty confident about that I can't make a new line marking. I think that I had just sharpened it in May, and the 9 times didn't need me to resharpen it. So it doesn't really look like I've made any progress from May to June, but that's okay. Here's where I started. So I've used up about half the pencil. I thought this was going to be much quicker than it was, but it's proving me wrong. I did not think it was going to take me 151 times and I'd only be halfway done with it. So quite a lot of work I have on that lip liner before it's gone. And I'm looking at my lip liner collection to the side of me right here out of frame, and whew, I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of work to do. Really, my issue is that a lot of them are just the same colors. Like I just have duplicate colors in different brands, and that just seems silly. Now we're going to move on to my lipstick. This is the newest item in my project. So this is the Physicians Formula Muru Butter in the shade Soaking Up the Sun. It's kind of very similar to the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips, but a little bit more firm. That's why I like it. So I rolled this in last month in June and used it 11 times for a total of 11 times since rolling it in. This had really good usage on it already. I was kind of working on it in the background. So this is how much I have left. And I did mark it on the cap here. So if you can see, this is where I started and then this is where I am. Pretty happy with that. It's very easy to use. It's easy to just kind of throw on. I actually really like it with the lip liner because the lip liner can be neutral. It can pool, cool, or warm depending on what you use. So I can use this to kind of warm it up, make it a little bit more summery, and it's just really nice and hydrating on the lips. I honestly, like, I would consider repurchasing this. I think it's really nice, and I think I just got this on a whim, so I really like it. It's gonna stay until it's done, and then I'll probably dig out the rest of it in the component to like really finish it. That's how much I like that product. My very last product to talk about is my fragrance. So also pulled this in this last month in June, and I used it 12 times for a total of 12 times since rolling it in. It is my Valentino fragrance in Dolce Viva. Really like this fragrance. I wanted kind of just a good everyday fragrance, not something that was too seasonal, just something that worked until it was done. I would like to really just diminish my fragrance collection, or at least use them. I would like to keep the bottles, but actually have empty bottles would be really nice. So here is where I started last month, and then here's where I am after 12 uses. I'm pretty happy with that. This is my first like real fragrance that I've had in the project. I used to have I've either had like a travel spray or a body spray or a little bit of a lighter fragrance. This is my true like eau de parfum, and I'm happy with 12 uses. I was a little worried I would just blast through this and it would be empty so fast because this is only 1 fluid ounce, but I think it'll last me a couple of months, which I like. I don't want to just quickly use things to use them for the sake of this project. That's not my goal. It's to kind of just maybe give me a little bit more focus on some things and actually get them out rather than spreading the love everywhere and then nothing ever gets finished, right? So that's my progress on the fragrance. That's my progress on my Project Pan items. I would love to hear down below if you're doing Project Pan. Unfortunately, I have no rollouts this month, but sometimes that's how it goes. I think, well, no, I was going to say I think next month I might have some rollouts. Maybe this setting spray will be done if I really commit to it, especially in the summertime, because I have used like that much before. Maybe that. I mean, the bronzer will definitely be out next month, but I won't be rolling anything in its place. And that's it. I don't think the next closest thing I have is the primer, and I don't think I'll be done with that next month. So that's okay. You know, it is what it is. Slow and steady wins the race. But let me know if you're also doing Project Pan down below so I can come and support your channel. After that, though, this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.